Welcome back to Taste Like Home. I'm Tash, your cooking host, and in today's episode, we're going to be learning how to cook curried sausages. I love curried sausages. They're one of my all-time favorites when I was a kid. Nothing better than rubbing up to that on a cold day and having that over some mash or anything. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so to get started today on our curried sausages, we're going to be using about 250 grams of sausages. I've got 5 there. I've just got the regular beef. I've got garlic and herb ones. You can use any sausages you like, whether they're pork, chicken, beef, doesn't matter, or even veggie sausages. They're quite good too. I've got some chicken stock here. I've got my carrot and my celery already chopped up into small bits. The size doesn't matter, that's up to your preference. I've got about half an onion here in slices. You can also dice that up. I've got some frozen peas. They can still be frozen. They will cook throughout the recipe. I've got some curry powder, minced garlic, so a little bit of white sugar, some salt and some corn flour. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first up, what we're going to do is we're going to get our pan and we're going to turn it up to a medium to high. We don't want it quite on the highest. We don't want it quite on medium. In between, get it nice and hot, and we'll get our oil ready and our pan ready. What you can do, this is not mandatory, it's an optional step. We got this tip from our chef Robin. She's a chef here at Cafe Social. She told me that how she makes curried sausages is she gets her sausages and she rolls them in curry powder first. I myself haven't done this before, but I think it would make for a really, really nice recipe and really make that flavour come through on the sausages. So as an optional step, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get my sausages. I've got some curry powder just here on my plate, and while my pan is heating up, I'm just going to roll my sausages in curry powder and make sure they're all nice and covered to allow for a really nice marination and some really nice flavour come through. Okay. We're almost ready for us cooking our sausages. Okay, so now that we've rolled our sausages, our optional step in curry powder, my pan's nice and hot. I've got a little bit of oil in there. Depending on the type of sausage you're using, you won't need a lot of oil either because sausages are a bit fatty. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to pop all my sausages in there. The curry powder may, depending on the type of sausage you're using, may make it a little bit difficult to tell if it is cooked on all sides. What we're going to do is we're going to leave it for about 3 minutes and making sure that they're browned all over. So I'm going to come back in about 3 minutes and check on my sausages and start turning them. Okay, so now I've been cooking my sausages for about 4 minutes or so. As you can see, they're nice and brown, even with that curry powder on there. So one of my tips is I stand my sausages right next to each other, and when I'm turning them, I just turn them one side at a time. And then that way, they hold each other in place, and you know that you've cooked all your sides because you can count by turning them over. So there are my sausages. I'm going to take them off the heat now. I'm going to make sure my pan is still on a medium to high heat. And I'm going to add some extra oil into there. Make sure you keep all your oils and fats and flavours because we want them for the rest of the dish. We're just going to add a little bit more oil in there now. And we're going to add our onion in to cook. So you pop all your onion in. Separate it all. Mine's in slices. You can have yours diced. However size you like. You can see that it's picking up a little bit of the curry powder on the bottom of the pan. It's just adding extra flavour for our curried sausages. Then up next, what we want to do is we want to add our garlic in. And be careful because it might come through at you. So you can take a step away if it is starting to do that. You might want to turn it down a little bit. I am a seasoned klutz in the kitchen and I'm used to burning myself, so I have a little bit of a high tolerance with heat. But if it's getting to the point where it's getting a little bit dangerous, I recommend just turning it down a little bit. And leaving that there to cook away for about 1 to 2 minutes. We're just going to wait it for 1 to 2 minutes before we add the rest. Okay, so now as you can see, my onion is nice and cooked. It's starting to char in a little bit. So now what we want to do, I'm going to add a tiny little bit more oil into mine so it doesn't get too dry. And I'm going to add the rest of my veggies. So I've got minus the peas. We don't want to add our peas in yet. They won't take long to cook. So we're just going to add our carrot and our celery in at this stage. Oops. And then we're going to let that cook in the fry pan at medium heat for about 3 to 4 minutes. We want to make sure it starts getting a little bit more. What I'm going to do as an optional step while we're waiting for that is your sausages on your plate. I like to cut mine up into small little bite-sized pieces. As I said, it is optional. You don't need to do it. This is typically around the size that I try to go for. And little diagonal pieces I find remind me of my childhood. But yes, you can cut them into as many pieces as you like, as thick or thin. and whatever shape or size. But I'm going to make sure I do that while my veggies are cooking and just tossing them every 30 seconds or so. Okay, so now my carrots and my celery have been cooking for about 3 to 4 minutes. As you can see, the celery is getting a bit clearer. You can see your carrots a bit more cooked. We don't want to cook them up for too long, otherwise we're going to lose all of our nutritional value in there as well. So what we want to do now is we want to get our curry powder and we want to add it straight onto the pan. And I know it may seem like it's a bit dry, so what this is going to do is it's going to activate the curry powder in the pan, and you just want to mix around your vegetables and the curry powder for about 30 seconds or so. So don't worry if it's dry powder on the pan. We will be using our liquid stock very soon to go and clean that all up and soak it all in. So what it's going to look like, you're going to have your pan looking like this. You're going to be curry powder coating your vegetables and your or your carrots and that. And then after about 30 seconds, and you're letting your curry powder heat to let the flavour really come out and you can smell it in the pan. That's when you're going to be getting your stock. And we're going to add our stock in. And then you're going to make sure you move everything around and get it to really soak in all that curry powder we have left. At this stage, we're also going to be adding our sausages back in. I've got mine cut up into small pieces, as you can see. I'm going to move all that around in there. We're also going to be adding a little bit of sugar in here and our salt. So now all we're going to have left is our peas and our corn flour that we haven't used. So they're going to get added in at a later stage. At this step, what we want to do is, once everything's mixed in and we've got our stock powder all around, all mixed in with our curry powder, we're going to leave it on a medium heat to simmer for about 15 minutes. Because we really want all those flavours to soak in and to intensify. So we'll come back in 15 minutes and we'll add our peas and flour in. Okay, so it's been almost 15 minutes, about 13 minutes on my clock. As you can see, everything's cooking, simmering very nicely. Your sauce has started to thicken and you won't have as much loose on there. So now what our next step is we want to get some flour, our corn flour. We want to get a little bit of water into a small bowl. I've got probably about half a cup in here and I've used hot water. Hot water will help it break up a little bit and melt with the flour. If you don't have hot water available, then don't worry. It will melt off into your curry and you won't have little clumps of flour. So I'm going to put my flour in with my hot water. And I want to mix that ready to put into our curried sausages. So once we've got that all mixed through and it's a little consistency, we'll get that ready. I'll put that to the side. And what we want to do is, I'll put this in first, so I'll mix this in. And as you can see, it's got like a creamy yellow kind of colour. We'll mix that through, keeping it on a medium heat. And what that'll do is that'll give it a kind of thicker consistency, kind of like a gravy. So once you've got that all mixed through, that's when we're going to add our peas in. We'll add our peas in now. The peas don't take long at all to cook, especially being in a hot pan, so that's why they come in last. And they give it a nice colour as well with the contrast of the orange with the carrot. So now what we're going to do is regularly stirring. We just want to make sure this is all, our peas are all cooked through, and leave it to simmer for a further 1 or 2 minutes and we'll be ready to serve. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes now. Everything's starting to come really nice and thick and together. I'm turning my heat off because I don't want it to overcook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to serve that. So regularly you would serve this over rice or mashed potato. You can use noodles, up to you and your choice. If you're running out of time and you don't have a lot of time, what's quick and convenient is a microwave packet of rice. That always goes down well. I know I prefer when I was younger to have mashed potato with it. You can't go wrong with mash if you ask me. I know that my old co-worker Grace, who is our kitchen superstar, would love to try this. Grace, would you like to give it a go?
Oh, that smells lovely.
I hope you like it. Can't go wrong. El classic carrot sausages.
I'm very excited.
I am too. Dig in. Thank you. It's nice and nutritious too. Good one to sneak some vegetables into. Thank you. Bon appetit.